All right, let's see if Facebook and Zoom will communicate with each other. I think they are. I'm just going to check my phone just to see what's going on and make sure. Let's see. I don't know if we're live or not. Oh, we're live. Yay. Hi. It's always such a fun thing when you're just trying to decide if tech is going to work for you. So I am so excited. You guys, welcome back. We have had an amazing event. It has just been like jam-packed full of information and questions, and it has been so incredibly fun. And so we actually get to come back for a few more days and we get to share. I want to share my amazing client, Jessica, and friend, and she is going to share a little bit about her experience inside of Activate Abundance, as well as her own journey with actually hitting her first 10K month, which was so exciting. And I got to celebrate that with her. So I'm going to share Jessica with you today. And then depending on our time, we will either dive into step 4, which is all about inviting clients to work with us. This is always a fun conversation because I think we can tend to stop ourselves in the invitation process. It's really easy for us as wellness entrepreneurs to serve and nurture. And yet when it comes time to actually inviting somebody to work with us, it's like we put the brakes on. So invitation is really fun. And so if we get a chance to do that tonight, we will do that tonight. And if we don't, we will dive into that tomorrow. If we do go into step 4 tonight, then we will not have a class on Wednesday evening because we would have finished all of the material. So I let there be like a little bit of a margin there. Again, I'm all about creating margin. So Wednesday is even though it's day 9, if we get through all the content, we actually won't need to use that day. And if we do, we get it. Awesome. So for those of you that are joining me, I cannot see your comments on Facebook because I am inside the Zoom room in order for you guys to get to meet Jessica. So just know that I will come back around after the class is over tonight and respond to any comments or any messages. But for now, just go ahead and let me know you're here. Just type in I'm here or hi, or give me a heart or some love or something. Just let me know that you're here for this class this evening. We are actually on day 7 of live. And yeah, cool. I am a little, my tongue is not working tonight, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. So you just get the real me, and I might be tripping over my words, and that's okay. So Jessica, welcome. Thank you for being here. It is your husband's birthday, and you're still here on live with me. So thank you so much for taking this time out of your day. You could totally be doing something different, and I just wanted to say thank you, and I so appreciate you. So I wanted you just to share a little bit about what was your experience, because I know that you went through BHC. You also went through mastery or is in the process of mastery, and yet there was a piece that you felt was still missing. Would you mind just sharing a little bit about what that was?
Yeah, so hi everybody, I'm Jessica Fox. And yeah, I am one of Christine's clients and so excited to be because if I can just give a little shout out, Christine, working with her has actually changed everything for me. So I honestly, I don't know how many of you like me. I don't even know how I connected with Christine. I have no idea, no clue. But I came across, somehow I got in her group, and around that time she was doing this master class as well. And so for me, I went through BHC almost 2 years ago now, and had started my mastery journey. And I'm actually presently going through Mastery and All Stars. And for me, as much as I just feel stuck, I felt really stuck. I couldn't connect the dots in how to actually create meaningful relationships with potential clients. And my biggest hang up over and over and over again was feeling like I had to sell, and then beating myself up because I wasn't selling. So I was just, something wasn't connecting for me, and I knew that I wanted to be a stand for women in a really powerful way, and to release. I work with work at home moms. That's my niche, and to just really release work at home moms into the fullness of who they've created to be. But I kept getting stuck with actually connecting and actually signing clients. And I just felt like I was beating my head against a wall. And then I found this webinar. And Christine started talking about build, nurture, and invite. And actually, you can see like where my finger's pointing. I actually have it written on a piece of paper behind me. And that was the day that I heard that the first time. It says, build, nurture, invite, show up and serve from love. And the day that Christine talked about that, it all of a sudden started clicking for me. And I was like, oh, it can't be that easy. I'm supposed to contact 25 people and get them to make referrals for me. And I'm supposed to be blasting out things over Facebook. And I need to be on Instagram and LinkedIn. And I've already done that once and it about killed me. And it was just build, nurture, invite. And it just felt so good. And so I was like, I could invite 5 people a day. And so I just started being a real person, as Chris says, over and over and over again. And it quickly built from there.
Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, we get to just be real. I think most of us want that too, right? We don't want to feel like we've got to try to be somebody else. We just want to show up and we just want to be real. And it takes so much pressure off our shoulders when we just allow ourselves to just be a person, just in alignment with who it is that we are. And we just get to show up and we get to serve. And if someone's a great fit, that's great. And if they're not, that's great too. We get to help them still and point them in the direction that they want to go. So here's a funny story that I want to share too, because I reached out to Jessica during the masterclass and I'm like, hey, thanks so much for being here. Would you like to explore Activate Abundance? And she got back with me and she's like, no, I'm already in mastery. I've got too much to do. And what changed for you? Like, what, you almost didn't join because of what? The time, I'm already investing money. I've got what?
Yeah, it wasn't so much the time as I was telling myself that I needed to finish one thing first. I had already, and here's the thing, like, I love mastery. I have been growing in leaps and bounds in my mastery journey, and I'm so grateful for it. And like, it's solid, and I love it. And so, but what I was missing, so as I continued to come in every day and connect with you through this work, through the masterclass here, you know what it was I knew I was striving. I was like, no, I'm just gonna like really focus. I'm gonna do one thing at a time, because I didn't want to spread myself too thin. I have a history. For the last 3 years, I've recovered from burnout, and part of me was afraid that if I invested into another program and continued to do that work, I'd be spreading myself too thin while trying to build a business at the same time. And so that was really the biggest hang up that I had was fear of burning out. And the fear that that it would just, I would be spreading myself too thin. I have 3 young children who are 7, 5, and 1. And I'm building a business and I'm married. So it's like, I didn't want one more thing. But what changed for me was, Christine, honestly, it was your heart. I so resonated with soul, building from my soul and connecting and building a business from my heart. And and detaching from the need to sell. I think that was the biggest thing for me. And while All Stars is on point, it wasn't and hasn't sparked my heart. And there was something about connecting with you, Christine, every single day through the masterclass that my heart, something came alive in my heart. And I was like, I need a coach. I need someone who can teach me to reconnect with my soul so that I can bring that into my business in a way that is actually going to make money. Mm-hmm. And hearing your story and hearing your journey, Christine, convinced me that no, I needed to just trust and say yes, and trust that the how was going to work out. As we well know, it did very quickly.
Yes, tell us about that. I totally would love to hear.
Yeah, so within a week, I signed 2 clients because I just invited. I just was like, hey, like, I'm relaunching my business here. Wanted to give it a try. And they were like, heck yeah. I was like, okay. And then I just started, you know, like Christine, what you tell us all the time, I started putting it on repeat. And so I quickly built my Facebook group, which I think we're crowning at about 200 people already, and it's only been a month, 2 months.
Wow.
So, and that's continuing to grow. I just started, like I said, putting it on repeat. I started reaching out. I started having conversations with like-minded women. And, you know, Christine could tell you how many times I have sent her a message on Voxer saying, I need to get over myself because I don't know how to invite people over and over and over again. But just trusting that by following my heart and allowing my heart to be fully sourced, that I was going to connect with the right people. And trust me, guys, when Chris says that you got support on Voxer, you got support on Voxer. Like, I have never felt so undergirded as a coach. And yeah, so I started activating in February and
March.
Yep. And in April, and by the end of March, I had my first 10K month.
Amazing.
I signed 5 women that month, which put me right up into 10K. Now, keep in mind, like, April was a reset for me. I had a ton of work to do. But now I know I can do it. And I'm learning how, one step further, how to put this process on repeat so that my 10K is consistent. And if I'm really honest, everything's looking like May is going to be another 10K or better. So
how exciting.
It totally works. It totally works.
Yay. I love to hear that, because it's one thing when I say that it works and that I've done it for my business. It's another thing when there's real people who say, yes, I followed the system, it works. And that's why I love having clients on, to just share that it doesn't have to be hard. We don't have to overthink it. We don't have to overcomplicate it. We get to take care of ourselves. We get to take care of our family. And it just feels so good to be able to come from this place of heart-centered serving. And it's a heart-centered sales. You know, I don't want to say that we don't ever need sales. We do. We need sales in order for us to have a business, right? Like, it's just an exchange of money, though. So it's not about selling people on a program. It is about serving people and inviting them to work with you so that they can get the result. And I know when I got that, that changed everything for me. It actually made the conversations that I had with people so much more fun, because I didn't have the pressure on my shoulders anymore of, oh, you got to sign this client. You got to sign this client. If you don't sign this client in this conversation, you're doing something wrong. Or you've got to, you know, book all these discovery sessions and try to convince them some way, shape, or form by the end of the call that they need to work with you. And that what made my heart feel heavy. And it was really hard for me to be excited about even having those conversations. Whereas when I just said, you know what, I just get to show up and I just get to serve. And if it feels good, I get to invite them in the next step that I think is going to help them get their result. And I think that you did that too. I know that was one place where you were like, I just don't like the hard sell. And when we had some conversations about it, and just from the masterclass, you began to talk to your people differently.
Yeah, yeah, that was the biggest thing, is that um I didn't feel necessary to take the clients on the emotional roller coaster of the OTR anymore.
Mm.
I just connected with them and asked them, like, what is it that you want and how can I best serve you? And here's the thing, like I still get more no's than yeses, like truth. but
We're not.
but at the same time, like I have had way more OTRs than, like, they're just always there, and
Mhm.
I just get to keep showing up. And it's I think, what was it, maybe 2 weeks ago, I sent you a messenger on Voxer and I said, is it really this easy?
Mhm.
Like, and it doesn't mean it's work. Like, this month for me has been so much work because I'm creating the content for all of my programs.
Mhm.
And but all of my content for all of my programs is now done. And then I have a master class that's going to go on repeat as well. And literally after the next 2 weeks, content wise, until I'm ready to shift my programs, it's done. And I just get to serve. And I'm really excited about that.
Ah,
I like my game.
yes. Oh my goodness. And one of the things that I really love about the way that we get to do the events like this, nurture events, is that we get to put this event on repeat, which is really awesome because it is valuable and because we're in front of new people all the time. So it's not like we are putting all of this energy. There is energy, there is work, there is implementation. Like, can it be easy? Yes. And it doesn't mean that we're going to like hit 10K overnight and, not have to do any work at all. Like, that's anybody who tries to sell you on that and says it's easy peasy and you're just going to like not have to do any work is fooling you. We do get to do work, but we get to do it from a place that we then in the beginning, it might seem like there's a learning curve, but once we get those pieces in place, we just get to continue to put that on repeat. So if you are enrolling into a one-on-one mastermind like Jessica is going to be doing, she gets to create an event and she gets to put that nurture event on repeat every time she wants to enroll in her mastermind. She just gets to show up, she gets to serve, she gets to teach, she gets to have fun, and then she gets to put that on repeat. And that doesn't mean that we don't tweak it as we go. Sometimes there's things that you're like, you know what, I think I want to tweak this piece and I want to rename this, or I want to add a little bit more information here. We totally get to do that. But the system that's repeatable and simple makes it so much easier for us to actually just show up and also allow ourselves to be fully nourished too, and not have to overthink it all the time, which the overthinking can take us out of the game so quickly.
Yeah, I love, one of the things, as you guys get to know Chris, is she keeps us she tells us over and over and over again, focus on the why, the how will sort itself out. And I am guilty of getting stuck in the how
Mhm.
and taking myself out with the how. And so I have thoroughly learned to say yes, and to really know why I'm saying yes and what I'm saying yes to in terms of myself and my family and my legacy. And the how is just being divinely downloaded every day, and it's so much fun. But like I said, it's not without work, but it's fulfilling.
Mhm.
Um, and again, not without frustration at times too, but at the same time, I know that I am serving from my soul, and that is a great place to serve from. I don't feel like I have to sell anymore. I just get to serve.
Mhm.
And when that turns into a sale, sorry, then it's a solid sale, and
Mhm.
it's a life-changing sale, not just for my client, but for me as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a piece that I think when we are trying to build and grow a business, that we forget that it is it Number one, it doesn't have to be hard. We get to keep it simple. You're going to hear me saying that all over and over again. How can we keep it simple? And even when I'm on one-on-one calls, it's like, okay, awesome. And how can we make it simple? How do we press the easy button on this? But as we're building and growing our business, we can get stuck in the how. We absolutely can get stuck in the how because we haven't done it before. And we think that if we just know how, we can just take action and we can make it happen. And I think throughout this masterclass, you've learned that action comes later. We get to, first of all, get that alignment involved with ourselves. What is it that we're doing? Why is it that we're doing it? What is our purpose? What is our passion? Who is it that we get to show up in the world and be as being? First, the action then, like you said, are the divine downloads, right? Like we get, oh, you know what, maybe I should reach out to so-and-so, you know, a name just pops up. Or, wow, wouldn't it be fun if I just like did this cool masterclass? My clients have been asking me about blah, blah, blah. And so you're like, oh, that's where the white space workshop came out of. That was just a divine download. I was like, oh, white space workshop, wouldn't that be fun to do? You know, how do we create more margin in our life so that we are not constantly working all the time? You know, we don't need to be working until 2 a.m. As a matter of fact, I took today off and I went on for 2 walks and I, you know, responded to a couple of Voxers and we're onboarding the next group and had a couple messages with my VA, but I got to sit outside and listen to my son play the guitar and I got to go for walks and I took a nap. And so we get to also be fully sourced. We don't have to be on the go all the time. And as a matter of fact, after this masterclass ends, I'm actually going to be taking some time off so that I can refresh my batteries. And that is another place that I teach inside is it's not all about taking action all the time. Yes, we need to implement, but we need to implement from a place of being fully sourced. And so that means that we absolutely get to up-level our own self-care and make sure that we've got margin in our days and in our lives so that we can continue to do the work that we love to do and be the moms, the partners, whatever that we coaches that we want to be too. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to share about Activate that you feel people need to know?
Again, it's so much easier than we make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
I am constantly in awe at the simplicity of how to build a heart-centered business and actually see it bring in money. like literally it should not be this simple.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's taken, for me personally, it's taken a lot of pressure off. Like I said, like I have 3 young children and so figuring out how to be a woman, be a strong woman for my, not just my clients, but for my family as well is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, again, the simplicity of it has just made it so much easier for me to be the woman that I want to be to my family as well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just genuinely being myself and not feeling like I'm salesy or that was a big hang up for me. Ugh.
How do I do it without feeling salesy?
I hated feeling like I had to sell my program.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just get to give it. Now
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, like, you know, I'm not selling it. I'm giving an incredible investment away. And those mindset shifts, friends, whoever's listening to this right now, the mindset shift. This woman is magic with your mind. It's going to break you open into a new level of how the universe, if you will, works. And just allowing, again, there's a reason her business is all about abundance, because she's going to teach you how to receive and open yourself to abundance. And this is something that I've been flirting with abundance for years, and now I don't know, Chris, you unlocked something within me that now I'm actually receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love your woo. I love it so much because it's allowed me to really, really embrace mine.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we all have a little woo in us. We all like the little bit of the, you know, the magic. And that doesn't mean that we're, you know, not, it doesn't mean that we are just, you know, drinking a potion or doing a fairy spell, or we've got magic fairy dust. It's fun to be able to see really how our mind and how our brain works. And many of us have following, again, if we're in the wellness industry, we're coming across these ideas of transformation and abundance and how the brain works and how habits are made and how neurons fire. And, you know, what we put on repeat is what ends up happening. And it's really fun to be able to take all of those pieces, some that seem woo, and to also take the scientific piece and kind of fit them together and be like, oh, this makes so much sense when we take a look at these pieces. It doesn't have to be all airy-fairy, and it doesn't have to be all totally scientific. There are pieces of both. And that's with life. With life, there are pieces of both. Mm-hmm. Jessica, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to let you, you can hop off and go spend time with your family and your husband, and just really thank you so much. I am cheering you on. I am so excited for your mastermind that's coming up, and I know it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so great. I'm so excited.
Yeah, cool. Bye, my dear. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm going to go eat birthday cake. So
Good. Go eat your birthday cake. That sounds so much fun.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, everybody, I am going to stay on here with you, and we're going to dive into step 4, which was invite. And I have been getting a ton of like notifications, and I haven't had a chance to look at them. And it looks like people are having a hard time seeing this live. So let me just double check and see, are we actually even live in the Facebook group? It says we are. Yeah, we're live. Okay, good. Phew. Awesome. Okay, yay. So for those of you who are having a hard time, luckily it's going to be recorded, and we are definitely live. So as you're joining, let me know. Whoops, and I'm hearing myself now. Hang on just a second. Okay, I had to shush myself for a minute. Okay, so let me just respond for just a minute. Yes, we are live. Okay, all right, so for those of you who are not on live, good news is that you get to watch this recording, which is fabulous.
We can't find you. We can't find you.
Yikes. All right, so I'm just gonna have to keep going, you guys, because all I can say is I'm sorry that you guys are having a hard time finding me. It's in the group, and let me just leave one other note to refresh your browser, and then I will keep going. Okay. All right, so let's dive into step 4, and this is all about inviting. And inviting people to work with us is the place that can kind of feel kind of wonky. So when we are talking about invitations, it is so important that we actually have this piece, because if we don't invite people, if we don't offer our services to people, we don't have a business, bottom line. It just doesn't happen. It's impossible for us to grow a business if we are not inviting people to work with us. So in order to have a successful practice, and this is the fill in the blank on the top of page for step 4, invite. In order to have a successful practice, you must make an invitation. You must make an offer to your audience. And it doesn't have to feel wonky. It can simply be, hey, if this resonates with you, here is the next step. Here is what I see for you. In order for you to get the result that it is that you're looking for, these are some ways that I could serve you. But if we don't have that invitation, and again, so many coaches get stuck and they don't actually create the invitation. They don't actually invite people to work with them because it feels wonky and it feels slimy and it feels salesy. And so this way of doing business, of building your business, of marketing and sharing your message, of actually bringing clients on to work with you, which is sales, we can still do it using a heart-centered system. And this nurture event, which all of you guys have been a part of, is one way that I teach. And it is an effective, fun way to actually invite people into the next offer. So Activate Abundance for the July cohort. I mentioned Thursday evening that enrollment was open for Activate Abundance, that if what I was teaching you in this masterclass resonated with you, if you wanted more support on how you could do that, then joining me over in the 6-month Business Accelerator program was an option for you. And I invited you all to explore that possibility. And we are absolutely sold out right now. So originally I opened 12 spots for Activate Abundance, and all 12 were filled within 48 hours. And so I took a look at my calendar to see, okay, how many people could I really serve? Because everybody gets a one-on-one call with me. And so I only have so much time, right? And so I said, you know what, I will open it up for 3 people. And those 3 spots were filled yesterday. So even though I don't have any more room in this cohort, just know that please stay in the Facebook group. Let me continue to serve you here. Let me continue to do free trainings for you. And then, and if you are interested in Activate Abundance, if you wanted a spot in that and it closed and you didn't get in, no worries. Please fill out the waiting list form, and that way I will know who is interested in being notified when the next cohort is open for enrollment. And you get to just stay in the Abundant Women Wellnesspreneurs group and continue to learn and continue to allow me to serve you. And you just get to hang out here for a little bit longer until the next opening arrives. So that was an invitation to say, hey, enrollment is now open and I would love to offer you this experience. I hear that you're struggling with these pieces, and if you want a way out of that and you want to learn how to build and grow a heart-centered practice to 6 figures, then join me for Activate Abundance. Now, not everybody wants to build their business to 6 figures, and that's totally fine. Some people are like, you know what, I really just want to bring in an extra $2,000 a month so that I can contribute to my family. Or you know what, $5K a month would be great. Awesome. You don't have to just be shooting for 6 figures. But for those of you that do, that's great too. And this will absolutely help you. Doesn't matter where you are. This is the way that you build and grow your business to 5K, 10K, and beyond. It is the same type of system that we get to share, our message, which is just marketing. And I know that can sound like a dirty word, marketing, but it really all we're doing is we're sharing our message. We're sharing it in a heart-centered way that allows us to teach and serve our most ideal client. So before you even make an offer, however, the most important thing is that you must be enrolled in you. Before you even invite anybody to work with you, you must be enrolled in you. And this is critical, because if you are not enrolled in you, if you don't allow yourself to believe in your ability and to believe in yourself and to believe that you can actually support somebody in getting the result that you want to help them with, if you don't believe that, then no amount of strategy will work, because it's not about the strategy. It is about first becoming enrolled in you first, and then we get to put strategy pieces into place. So if we go back to day 1, where I talked about the abundance formula of inner game plus strategy equals abundance, inner game plus the outer game. Inner game is our intention. Who is it that we believe ourselves to be? We have to be enrolled in ourselves first. We have to be enrolled in the program that we're offering, or the one-on-one experience, or the small group program, or the mastermind, or whatever it is. We have to be enrolled in ourselves first. That is step 1. And what I'm going to show you, once we are enrolled in ourselves and believe, then we actually get to take our clients on what I like to call the enrollment pathway. It is also called helping your clients up the ladder of belief. And there's actually 5 different stages. And so there is a pathway that we get to help our clients through. Every single one of you have gone through the enrollment pathway when you've decided to buy or purchase anything or do anything. So it's not just for clients that you want to help see the value in the offer that you have, or help them see that your offer, your service is going to be amazing for them. We do it every day. We go on this enrollment pathway. And so this enrollment pathway for clients has got some steps. So this is where you guys get to fill in the blanks here. Step 1 is we get to help our clients see that it is possible, that it is actually possible. So we get to help our clients see that whatever result she wants is actually possible. So for example, say there is somebody, and again, lots of you are health coaches and life coaches here. Some of you are nutritional therapy practitioners, some of you are energy workers. Say somebody wants to reduce inflammation in their body so that they are not having or experiencing pain. First is she needs to believe that it's actually possible to lower inflammation and to reduce pain. Not just in herself, but just that in the world, it's actually possible. So this is where we get to show her that her result, the desire that she has, is actually possible. The second step is we want her to see not only is it possible in the world, people are reducing inflammation, people are becoming free of pain, or people are losing weight, or people are building 6-figure practices, or people are getting results in XYZ system. The next piece is she gets to believe that it's possible for her. So the first step, I believe that's possible. I see that people are having this experience. The second thing I need to believe is it's possible for me, that I believe that I can actually have this result. And then the third step is I believe that it's possible for me. And you know what? I believe that it's possible for me now. I don't have to wait until next month or next year or 6 months from now. This is something that I actually believe is possible for me now. I absolutely would love to have this experience now. The fourth step is I believe that it's possible for me now, and I would like your help with it. I would like your help with it. So I believe that it's possible for me to be pain-free, to lower inflammation in my body. I really want to do something about it now, and I want your support to help me. And then the last and final step that our client goes on this pathway is, I believe that it's possible for me now, and I can enroll anybody else necessary to be in alignment with my decision. Notice I didn't say I am going to ask permission in order for someone else to say, yes, I get to do this. This is where we get to support our client to step into her own power and say, this is the decision. This is the result that I want. I believe that it's possible. I believe it's possible for me. I believe it's possible for me now. I believe it's possible for me now with your help. And I am absolutely committed to enrolling whoever is necessary in order to help me support me in this decision. And so that is the pathway that we all follow. And that doesn't mean that we don't go to a spouse if we're spending a significant amount of money on something and say, hey, honey, this is what it is that I would like to do. And these are the reasons why. When we actually go to our significant other and when we have conversations, instead of saying, can I do this? I don't know, I really need permission, which is actually a buffer. When we feel like we need to ask somebody's permission, what ends up happening is that we are actually giving our power away and we're saying, I don't believe in me. I don't believe that I'm going to be able to follow through. So if I ask permission and somebody else gives me the permission, then I get to share the blame with somebody else. If I don't actually follow through, you know what? You gave me permission to do it, so I don't actually have to take full responsibility. It's very, very sneaky. So typically the objections that come up whenever we are having a conversation with somebody is the critter brain loves to keep you safe, right? So all of a sudden you're like, yes, I really want to do this. I'm a heart yes for this. I believe it's possible. I believe it's possible for me now. I believe it's possible with your support. I really want to do this. And all of a sudden the critter brain starts going, but you've done something like this before and you never followed through. Do you really need this? Why don't you just try it on your own? Are you sure? Like, it's all of a sudden comes up with all of the reasons why you shouldn't. And that's normal. It is absolutely normal. I would be shocked if those pieces didn't come up with anybody at any time. So just know that that is what happens in the brains of our clients too. The critter brain wants to keep us safe at all costs. So it's going to come up with whatever reason it can think of to keep you safe and to keep you from taking action. It keeps our clients from moving anywhere. It's like, nope, just stay on the fence. But the problem with sitting on the fence is that no movement is made. We're not moving to the right. We're not moving to the left. We're sitting and we're stuck in limbo. And this is where people end up abandoning their clients. Their client says, you know what? I don't know. I really want to work with you, but I don't have the time. I really want to work with you, but I have to ask permission. I have to ask my husband first. Or I really want to work with you, but my bank account says this and I can't do it. I get it. And those are all real reasons. And those are all circumstances as well. And so what we want to do is help our clients step into an empowered yes or an empowered no. But what we don't want to do is abandon her. What we don't want to do is let her stay a victim of the circumstance, because nobody is a victim to their circumstances. We all can figure out a way, and we have. If you think about the things that you've done in life, even if you came up against a roadblock, you figured out a way to actually make that happen. And that's beautiful. And so when we see that not only are we not victims of our circumstances, we source that for our clients and we help them see that they are not victims to their circumstances either. Now, if someone is having a hard time putting food on the table, enrolling in a coaching program is not the place that she needs to be. I would say that that would be a very empowered no. And what is it that she needs to do so that she can actually get food on the table for her family? That would be the direction that I would go with her. So the intention is less about trying to sell her into anything, but to help her become an empowered yes or an empowered no, either way. And that is all based on that conversation. Once we have heard her say, okay, I hear you're a 10. I hear that you see that this is possible for you. I hear that you want this. I hear that you want my help. When we come up with objections, we just get to decide here, find out where are they blocked on the pathway? Where are they blocked on that pathway? What happened from her being a 10 to all of a sudden being, I don't know, what is going on in the critter brain? Does she not believe that she can actually follow through? Does she not, which means that she doesn't believe that it's possible for her? Does she not believe that it's possible for her now with your help? Like, what is going on? And this is where there's not necessarily a script to follow, but there are empowering questions that we can guide her through. And that is part of what I teach inside of Activate Abundance. I am getting blown up here on my email and also with notifications. So I'm sorry, you guys. I know that many of you are having a hard time finding this. And I will actually repost it in the Facebook group so that you can see it. So when objections arise for our client, it is an opportunity for us to be a stand for her, getting her result in her empowered yes. When we just abandon her on it and go, okay, yeah, I hear you. You can't afford it, or you don't have time to do it, or your husband said no, then we're actually not helping her take a look at what is it that she actually could create. How can she step into her own empowerment and abundance? And it is just when we really get that this is just to help her uncover what are the stories that the critter brain is telling her for why she can't have it Why she can't have it now? Is she feeling that she's not deserving to have it? Is she feeling like she never follows through? And so she wants more evidence for how you can support her. Because in reality, whenever anybody says, you know what, I'm just going to try this on my own for now. One thing that I want you to say is ask her specifically, what is it that she's going to do? What is it that she's going to try on her own? Because that is just a buffer. That is a buffer saying, you know what, I'm just going to try it on my own because I don't want the accountability that you're offering. I just am going to try it on my own because I don't want to have to step outside of my comfort zone. I just want to try it on my own because I don't want you to see that I might not follow through. That is a buffer too. So time, money, and the idea that I just am going to try it on my own, honestly, kind of makes no sense. When someone says, I just want to try it on my own, but yet they are here, that tells me that if they could have gotten what it is that they wanted, they would have gotten it already on their own. Because information doesn't equal transformation. What's true is that your client can Google 500,000 ways to lower inflammation in her body, and yet she's still struggling with it. So it's not about having the information. Information does not equal transformation. Implementation, support, and accountability creates the transformation for your clients. So when she says, I'm just going to try it on my own, say, great. How are you going to do that? What's step one? What's step two? What happens when you decide that you just don't want to show up for yourself? What happens then? What happens when that critter brain takes you out of the game and has you thinking that, you know what, this really isn't possible for me? What ends up happening is that she then gives up on her dream. And I think many of us have been there before, right? We've given up on our own dream. We said, you know what, I just can't do this. I don't know how to do this. I'm not worthy. I don't know what to do. Or we just stop staying in the game. And here's the thing. We can't read the label when we are inside the bottle. We must have somebody who can read the outer label on the bottle and help us move through those mindset pieces and strategy pieces that keep us stuck. And Jessica talked about mindset and how that was really a game changer for her. And it is true. Mindset is 80% of success. It is the place that people get stuck. It is the place that people do not move forward in the results that they want. And for those of you that have been through HCI know that 3 things have to be present in order for someone to get the results. You have to have the right system. You have to have the right support, and you have to have the right accountability. And doing it on your own does not give you the support, and it does not give you the accountability. You might have the information, you might have a system, but without support and without accountability, follow through doesn't happen. It's like 3 legs of a stool. You guys know this. It falls over. There's nothing supportive. There's nothing stable to stand on. So you get to offer your clients that support and the accountability and your signature framework, which is your system, to help them get results. So I hope this helped understand a little bit more about how we actually get to coach our clients through the objections from a place of helping her step into her own empowerment, helping her see that she is worthy, that she is valuable of having the result that she wants, even when the critter brain shows up and says, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And I have to tell you that when I first signed up to work with my client, I called her back twice to say, I can't do this. That's way too much money. What am I doing? Like, that's more than my mortgage, right? So I get it. I get it. I get the money piece. And I get the piece of us not trusting that we can actually follow through in order to get our result. And that is just the critter brain, because what is true is that you're not a victim to your bank account. You're not a victim to the mindset. You actually get to create what it is that you desire. And you allow yourself to be supported. Leaders allow themselves to be supported. And one thing that I'll tell you is that every single coach or practitioner, anybody who's got a 6-figure business has got a coach. Every single one. And they've had somebody that read the label on the outside of the bottle so that they could continue showing up, implementing, and taking action with support and with accountability. So I actually, when I looked to work with a coach, I made sure that my coach, and I actually have 2 coaches, my coaches have coaches. I want to know that they are continually working with somebody, because they actually are learning and growing themselves, and they are sourcing their breakthroughs for me. And I get to do the same thing for you. I get to source the breakthroughs and the mindset pieces and the places that I get to invest in myself and in my business. I get to share with my clients. How amazing is that? And when you get to stand up and be a yes for you, you actually allow your clients and give them, you source that for them too. It's so beautiful how these ripple effects happen in the world. So I am going to stop there for today. Again, the pathway, the enrollment pathway for clients was, number 1, I believe it's possible. Number 2, I believe it's possible for me. Number 3, I believe it's possible for me now. Number 4, I believe it's possible for me now with your help. Number 5, I believe it's possible for me now, and I can enroll anyone else necessary to be in alignment with my decision. And when objections come up, you need to find out where they are blocked on the pathway. Find out what happened. Where is she blocked? Is she not believing that it's possible for her? Is she not believing it's possible for her now? Like, what is the critter brain telling her that is keeping her believing the old programming or the stories, which are buffers? And when I say buffers, buffers are our brain giving us reasons to keep us safe, to keep us from making any change at all. The brain doesn't like change at all. It's like, you know what? I know the devil I got here. I know how to deal with this. When I'm here, I know that I will survive. When I'm there, I don't know if I'm going to survive over there. I haven't done that before. I might not survive that, right? So just know that that's normal if that's happened for you. And most importantly, know that it's happening for your clients. Know that it's happening for your clients. All right, ladies, I love you, and I am going to hop off and try to tag those of you that have sent me messages in this video so that you can watch the replay. I will be back here tomorrow night. We will not have class on Wednesday. We will have class tomorrow night, and we will be finishing up number 5, which is Empower. And we're going to be talking about the abundance paradigms, and also how we empower ourselves and therefore source that empowerment for our clients too. All right, ladies, one thing that I would love for you to do as your homework so that I can draw the name for the 2-hour business strategy session is tell me what you think about the enrollment pathway. Just leave me an aha about the enrollment pathway. All right. I will see you soon. I will see you on the inside of Facebook land.